If your brother or sister sins, go and point out their faults just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over. But if they will not listen, take one or two others along, so that every matter may be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. If they still refuses to listen, tell it to the church. And if they refuse to listen even to the church, treat them as you would a pagan or a tax collector. Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Again, truly I tell you that if 2 of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them. Greetings, guys. It is me here with a message of the kingdom of heaven. Guys, we were speaking about the fact that daddy, there comes a time where the cup is full. Guys, you need to understand that there comes a time where the cup is full. You understand? And imagine if it's him who gets full. How about us human beings? Guys, we are not even perfect. Guys, we are not even perfect, but they are perfect. Yet the cup becomes full even for them. And we were speaking about it in the previous episode, because we wanted to bring out the fact that he says that you who are evil, you who are continuing with your evil ways, continue, don't stop. In other words, I don't care anymore. I'm done. And he says, if you've been obeying him, you've been doing right by him, continue doing so as well. You understand? He's happy. Continue. You understand? So there comes a time, guys, where you reach that limit. So here, we Christians, guys, we are given, a command to always forgive. Believe me, it's so difficult to forgive, guys, until something so harsh, so hard, so painful happens to you, and that pain is inflicted by someone. I'm telling you, guys, it's difficult to forgive. Work yourself. Don't force it at first. Work it out, because if you force it, it's not going to be coming from the heart. Because if you go down, this was actually taken from the Gospel of Matthew. I think it's chapter, let me go up and see, it's chapter 18, So if you go down from verse 21, you'll find that Jesus is now speaking about the fact that you need to forgive from the heart. You need to forgive from the heart. But here, he was speaking about the fact that there are protocols, there are procedures, you understand, we need to follow, when it comes to forgiving. Because you see, guys, there comes a time where you really reach that limit. And once you reach it, believe me, there are women in jails, who are jailed because they ended up killing their partners. Why? What happened? They reached the limit. You understand? So when you realize that you are reaching the limit, get rid of that person. Forgive them and get rid of that person. Pack up their clothes. Leave them outside. Tell them, if I continue living with you now, I'm going to jail. I'm going to kill you. Guess what, guys? Here on earth, cheating is not a sin. So if they keep cheating on you, if your spouse keeps cheating on you and they expect you to keep forgiving them, you will reach the limit. There is no law against cheating here on earth. He won't be jailed for doing it. Is it fair? No, but there is no law. But here on earth also, there is a law against killing. When you reach that limit, you might kill. Believe me, there are women, guys, I usually watch these reality shows of women in jails, incarcerated, and they tell you that they reached the limit. And in my mind, I'm like, you're a fool. Why did you waste that long? Because right now, you are in jail. Your children lost whoever they lost, and they lost you as well, because you are not thinking. Once you realize that you are reaching the limit, pack the clothes of the person, get rid of the person. It's simple as that. You find juveniles in jails there because they couldn't take it anymore. They were being abused by their stepfathers or fathers. And their mothers were like, oh no, I'm doing it for you. For who? Did I ask for a father? You are doing it for yourself, not for me. Don't do it. Don't lie about it now. You wanted a man. Not because we're looking for a father for me. Hello, did I ask you for a father? I didn't. This man is busy banging you and is banging me also. I'm tired. So what they do, they end up killing. A child will end up taking that gun, taking that knife and stabbing, guess what? Your children will be locked up, because they reach the limit. Guys, we reach a limit. You need to know that we reach a limit. If daddy says when the cup is full, the cup is full, and the cup will be full. I've never met a person who is so patient like daddy. Guys, I told you that I've been dealing with people a lot. Guys, I'm cold, you understand, and I've been dealing with people a lot, and daddy will be so patient that I'll be like, I'm tired now, this person doesn't listen. But daddy will be so patient. But believe me, when he says my cup is full, no more, get rid of this person, it starts becoming painful to me. But guess what? When the cup is full, the cup is full. It's just that when the cup is full with him, he doesn't turn back and look back. He doesn't. So you don't want that. But what I'm saying is that, guys, that the cup will get full. You understand? And when it is full, believe me, you do wrong things. So here, Jesus is protecting us. He's saying that when your brother or sister, meaning anyone who calls themselves a Christian, you understand? Or maybe you can even practice this with your physical siblings. But you see, guys, you need to understand something. Jesus' family are those who belong to his kingdom, are those who, after receiving his blood, obey him. Your physical siblings, cousins and aunts or brothers or fathers or mothers, they don't belong to Jesus unless they are saved and then obey his commands. If they were saved but don't obey, they don't belong to Jesus. That's why if you go to the Gospel of Matthew, I think it's Matthew 12, one child comes in and says, your brother and mother, they are looking for you outside. Jesus responds and says, who is my mother and who are my brothers? Looking towards his disciples, he says, these are my mothers. These are my mothers, my brothers and sisters. Why did he say that? He was stressing out the fact that only he who does the will of the Father. Because after saying that statement, he says, only those who do the will of my Father are my brothers and sisters and mothers. You understand? So with Jesus, when he's speaking about a brother or a sister, he's not referring to your physical brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, fathers and mothers. No, he's speaking about those who belong to the kingdom of heaven, meaning those who are saved and obey him. You understand? Now he's saying that when such sins against you, what you do is you call the person, you sit them down, and you tell them, listen, you are wronging me by doing this, you are hurting me by doing this, you are sinning. You understand? If they listen, you've won them over. That's good. It means they did not do it on purpose. It was a mistake. They might have been doing it over and over, but they were not aware that they are hurting you. You understand? Because when a person knows something and they continue doing it, then they are telling you that they are not doing it by mistake, it's on purpose. That's why they continue doing it. So Jesus is saying that, but if they will not listen, take one or two others along, so that every matter may be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. In other words, now, if this person is keeping on wronging you, you go now, after speaking to them alone, you then go and find 2 people or 3, and then you call this person who's been wronging you, and guys, you tell them, I've told you, you are wronging me, and it's hurting me, you are sinning, against me, but you are continuing. So I want these ones, to witness this. And if they continue, what you do is you tell it to a church. It's just that nowadays pastors are busy with riches, prosperity, and blessings, so they don't really stick to the message of Christ. So I don't know if there's still a church that does follow the protocols of Christ. I don't know if there is. You know what I mean? So you call the church, and if they refuse also to do that, meaning you calling the elders now on this person, and if they refuse, it means that this person is doing it on purpose. So say, guys, when you are wronging me and I tell you that this thing is hurting me, whatever you're doing to me is hurting me, if it was a mistake, you will stop after I've told you. That's why you will stop, because it was a mistake. You might have been doing it over and over. You see, guys, with me, if you're doing something wrong to me and maybe I'm not yet in the mood, naturally, I'm not good with confrontation. Naturally, that's just me. I'm not good with conversation. So when a person is wronging me, I usually keep quiet. and then I try to find ways to deal with it. But I will not look at you in a bad way, because maybe you are not doing it on purpose, because I have not said anything to you. Because guys, I followed the protocol of Jesus because I love it, you know. Now what happens is, if this person is continuing after you told them and they are continuing, guess what? You can now you go and find what witnesses, and then after that you find elders. That is if they are still elders. And if the person is continuing, they are telling you in actions, even if they are not telling it to you plainly, verbally. They will be telling you in actions. By continuing with it, they are telling you that this is not a mistake, it's on purpose. Now when that happens, Jesus is telling you now what you are to do. What did he say? He says that now, if this person is doing it, he says if they still refuse to listen, tell it to the church. And if they refuse to listen even to the church, treat them as you would a pagan or a tax collector. Pagans were excommunicated, not necessarily, but pagans were people who were treated like outsiders. You understand? They were outsiders looking in by the Israelites, you understand? Tax collectors were also not treated nice by the Israelites, you understand? So Jesus is saying that get rid of this person. Why? Because guys, two cannot work together unless they have agreed to do so. The mere fact that you are keeping this person, it means you are agreeing with their ways, you understand? Now if you realize that this person is hurting you and you've followed these two protocols, then they are telling you that they are hurting you on purpose. Get rid of them, forgive them, and get rid of them. That's what I do, guys. I don't have an enemy. Why? Because when I decide to go, I go forever and I don't come back. But I make sure that I forgive you before doing that, because you are commanded to forgive. Then you leave. Because if you don't forgive, you are also now wronging Jesus. Guys, there are laws according to the world and laws according to the kingdom of heaven. So according to the kingdom of heaven, you must forgive. So you forgive the person and you get rid of them. Why? Because the cup will be full, and when it is full, you will start harboring bitterness, and you start hating a person. When you start hating the person, because that happens, guys, believe me when I tell you, you can start hating a person even when you are a Christian. So when that happens, it's because you are angry. You are angry with what they are doing. They are doing it on purpose, you understand? In other words, they're hurting you on purpose, and you are a human being, and believe me, you will be affected by it. So you forgive them, get rid of them. It's simple as that. So he's saying that whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Remember, guys, Jesus, if you go to the Gospel of John, I think John 19, Jesus had come back from dead. He said that whenever his disciples would forgive people, he also forgives them. And he says whenever the disciples won't forgive, he also won't forgive. Why did he say that? It's because he understood. I mean, he knew that these people understood, his ways and teachings and everything. Now, if you are still a babe, don't apply this. Guys, I don't even apply this myself. I forgive everyone because I don't want to get into that habit of not forgiving people. But Jesus is saying that whatever is bound on earth is bound in heaven. So if there are 2 or 3 and you are continuing sinning and we're saying things against you and we both obey Jesus, Jesus is there in the midst. That's why in verse 19 it says, again, truly I tell you that if 2 or 3 gather together in my name, I am there. And whatever you ask, it will be done by my Father in heaven. So if now you're continuing sinning against me and this other person, we actually obey Jesus after getting saved, Jesus is there in our midst. So whatever we say, and if we say you are no longer forgiven, that means you are no longer forgiven. You ain't gonna make it to the kingdom of heaven. You understand? But this one is to be done by those who are matured in Christ, because those who are matured in Christ usually forgive. They usually forgive because, guys, it's easier to forgive. You understand? So Jesus is telling us that. So I wanted you to understand that as much as the cup gets full in him, and also my Lord also with us, but Jesus gave us this protocol so that we will follow it, so that we can forgive from the heart. So you forgive from the heart, and you forgive, and then you get rid of that person never get closer to them, because they are hating you on purpose. That's why they are continuing hating you. That guys, if you know something and you don't do it, you don't have to do it. Until next.